Hello, hello, hello. This is a very long video. There are 3 assignments and a bunch of information I need to give you. We're heading into progress reports due on Friday, so I hope at the bare minimum that you watch this entire video so your questions will be answered, okay? Let's figure this out together. So, number 1, grades are due from me to the school on Friday by 2 p.m. If you can do it, you are more than welcome to finish Module 4, which is this video, and I will include it in your grades. If you could do that by noon on Friday so that I have everything ready to go, that would be awesome. There's no such thing as late work right now, and in general during the semester there really wasn't such thing either. Just when you're willing and able and your mental's in a good spot, take that time to go back and finish your module work because I will give you full credit, no questions asked. Some of you are asking for extra credit, which is fair. So for now, extra credit can be any of the optional assignments that I had posted for modules 1 and 2. I did not post one for module 3 because we were kind of, we weren't doing too well. So yeah. And then attendance. I have to count attendance for you. And I haven't talked to you about this. I haven't sent this out. I count you as present if you do the work for the week. So if I see a message from you, if I see you vote on the end number 4 of the module at the end of the week, kind of like giving me feedback, I give you credit for attendance. And if I hear from you on Jupyter, if I see you post something, ask a question, I count you as here. Even if I know that you've asked me something on social media, on Instagram, I will count you as here also, okay? So that's the information part. Let's get into this module. There are going to be 3 assignments, and the point value has increased significantly. So this module is worth, right now, I'm going to count it at 40 points. And then if I decide that something was a little more difficult than it needed to be, I will up the count to 50 points, okay? So this week we're looking at some argument, and we're looking at some text-to-life connections. I'm going to give you a very, very brief run-through about argument in general and what rhetorical analysis is, and we're just going to do very, very basic identification of that. So you have an article, you have a Google Form quiz, you have a text-to-life connections Google Doc, and then you have this thing called Padlet, which I don't think we've done together. So effective writers read for patterns and rhetorical moves in various texts. So one could argue that every single text is an argument, that every single writer has a purpose and wants to convince you of their claim and perspective. So one of the ways that we study this is by identifying rhetorical moves in the rhetorical triangle. So if we were in person, this lecture would be way more powerful. But for now, I'm just going to kind of breeze and skate through it. So you have 3 points of the rhetorical triangle. You have ethos, pathos, and logos, and they all work together. So ethos is you want to make your argument credible. So you use things like sources and authority and expertise. And this is where like your word choice and your sentence structure comes into play. Then you have pathos, right? So pathos, you're appealing to the emotions of people, and you want to kind of find commonalities and like tug at the heartstrings moments, like, oh my God, all these animals are dying because of our CO2 emissions, therefore take action right now. That's pathos. And then you have logos. Oops, I'm sorry that my face is blocking it. So logos is appealing to logic, using facts, reasons, statistics, following a logical order. So like first you log on the Google Classroom, then you watch the video, and then you try your assignment, okay? So rhetorical triangle. There's also a couple parts that you don't typically learn, but I think they're really interesting to include for you. So the inside of the triangle is called Kairos, which is why now, why is this a good thing? And then the outside is exigent, so it's historical context. So when you make a claim, you have support for that claim. Sorry, I guess it's trash day. And then you kind of acknowledge the other side, and then you conclude. This week's article is called Life Isn't Fair, Deal With It, and it is by Mike Myatt. It's from 2011. It's inspired by a commencement speech given by Bill Gates in 2011, and this article is fire. This guy is attacking everybody who thinks that fairness should be a constant in life and a guarantee, and he says, nope, it's not like that. So please read the article. The PDF is linked. And there are, when you get to the second page, there's about 11 rules for life. So those 11 rules for life are going to be part of your last assignment. So first, read it. Then go to the Google form. There are 4 questions. It's designed so you get 100% on that quiz. And then there's a text-to-life connection sheet, which I will show you. Here's that Google Doc. This is the third step of your... Wait, that's confusing. This is the next step in your 3 assignments. So your first assignment is the Google form. Your second assignment is this text-to-life connections. My bad. Good readers make connections between what they're reading and the world around them. We've been working on that all year. I know that for a fact. So you have 4 areas to make a connection to. So after you read that article, Life Isn't Fair, Deal With It, then you're going to make 4 connections between the article and yourself. A peer that you know of. Do not use names. We're not putting people on blast right now. But if it's good cheese, I want to know. And then text-to-text connections, you can relate it to anything you've read before. I would even consider memes as text. And then finally, text-to-world. Clearly, we're in a historical global event. Hint, hint. Okay, finally, this is the last part of the module this week. This is called Padlet. If you click on the link from the slide, it will take you right here. You should see my name and a blue background, and that's how you know you're in the right spot. You should not have to sign up for anything. So read the 11 rules for life in the article titled Life Isn't Fair, Deal With It. Decide which rule makes the most sense to you and why. If you would like to play devil's advocate, that's great. Then what rule makes no sense to you and why? So the way that you participate is this little pink plus sign on the corner. You're going to click on it to add your post and your title. You're not going to be anonymous. You're going to change your name. And then the title will be like rule number, I don't know what rule number 8. And then if I look back at the article, rule number 8 says your school may have done away with winners and losers, but life has not. In some schools, they have abolished failing grades. They'll give you as many times as you want to get the right answer. Doesn't bear the slight resemblance to anything in life. So then you would talk about how schools are trying to be fair and yeah, okay? And then if you decide when you're looking at the Padlet, oh, that's a good answer, you could be like, hello, this actually doesn't make sense because whatever, okay? So I should see over 100 of these when I check in next Sunday. Okay, so thank you for bearing with me. That was a very long video, and trust me, it was worse to make than it is for you to sit there and listen to my voice at home. So the first assignment was to identify rhetorical strategies in the quiz. The second assignment is to make the text-to-life connections on the Google form. Look at Bandon instead of me. And then remember, to write on your own Google Doc, you need to go to File, Make a Copy, okay? And then you turn that in through Google Classroom. And the last one was to go on to Padlet, which I showed you, and pick a rule, okay? So looking ahead, just giving you a heads up, we have 3 modules left. Technically, Module 7 isn't real. It's just extra credit. So you have 2 big things left to do. Module 5 is coming up next week. It's an argument writing piece. It's going to be worth 50 points in the assessment category. So that means that can be the real big bump that you need to get your C to a B, your B to an A. Module 6 is a narrative piece, which is slightly easier than the argument. It's also worth 50 points. So in 2 weeks, you had 100 points in assessment, so you can bump your grade to whatever you want to bump it to. And then finally, if you're on the border between like a C minus, B minus, A minus, there's an extra credit Flipgrid. It's going to be worth 25 points. I will post instructions and all that good stuff later on down the road. We are still scheduled to end on June 5th. You can do all the modules up until June 4th because I still need time to go back and look at everything. And then I applied to teach summer school online, so hopefully I get it. So sign up with your counselors if you need the credit, and hopefully I can see you online this summer. And then hopefully things are good and then we can be back at school in July. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions and we will talk to you again next week.